TEE1010. In this video I'm looking at the next mode, which is song mode. Well, actually proper song mode where you can link patterns together. Before that, however, I'm going to talk about how I've changed the way to switch between different modes. It's now got a menu, so when you press mode, a menu comes up on the screen and you can use these pedals to select, or you can use these buttons as well to select the one you want. Let's go to pattern and enter. The other thing you can do with the menu now is you can also use a shortcut by pressing the foot pedals. So if I press mode, you can see the numbers that are next to each menu item. And for example, if I wanted to edit a song, I could press enter now to get that, or I can just press 7 and it'll go straight to song edit. So the other thing I've implemented is that when you're actually playing a song, you can still use the menu because the two processes are separate. So interfacing with the buttons and the screen is separate to actual playing. So let's have a look at that. So at the moment I'm in song mode, I'm playing something. So I'm going to go down here to, let's go to mixer, select that, and you notice everything's still playing. That's because the two bits of software are now independent. Now with songs, there are 3 different modes. The first mode is number 8, where you can actually open a song from the SD card. So I'm just going to select a song here at random, press enter, or press this button here to select it, and now I'll go straight to song mode. So in song mode, it'll actually play the patterns that have been saved for that particular song. So let's have a look and see what patterns are saved. So I press mode and choose 7. So you can see the screen has now changed and it's showing a series of patterns. And if I go through them, you can see in this particular song, I've got bank 1, pattern 1 played once, bank 1, pattern 2 played once, bank 1, pattern 3 played once. And underneath are the values that you want to change it to, and you can change those by using the potentiometer knobs. So if I turn that back to 1, while we're at it, X means the end of the song. If I turn that back to 1, leave that on 3 and change that to 2, and then press this button here, that actual part of the song is now updated. So it's now bank 1, pattern 3 played twice. Now if I press enter, I can save it. So at the moment it's got KBPB, which is a lovely name for a song, but I can change all of the letters and by using these knobs. And when I'm ready, now it's saved. So let's just check that. So I'll press mode and go to open a song, and there's the one that we actually just saved, math. Mode 8 to open a song, select it. Mode 7 to edit the song, so you can see what patterns are being played and how many times. And there's the name of the song down there that I've just opened. And mode 6 to play the song. So let's play it. And you can hear it's playing those patterns in order. Okay, so something else that I've included in this is the ability to change the drums with this expression pedal, the second one over here. So I'll just move this across. So using this expression pedal here, I'm going to start a song up. So here's the song playing, and press enter, and now I can change it. At the top of the program, nothing's really changed until you get down to the song section. And after the patterns, we're at this section here, which is song mode, linking patterns. So I've created a structure here, which I'm using for the interface to show the user the bank, pattern and repeats. And then that's used to store up to 50 of those patterns, or 50 of those structures. And if you expand that out, you get 1,000 different patterns which can be put in order, and that's what this array is for. Also here there's a variable to store the song name on the SD card, and some other variables that are useful. Here's a list of the files that could be read from the SD card. I'm only doing 100, but you can do more if you want to, and an index for when we're reading through them. Also there's a bit more data here for the menu, the new menu system. Menu modes is actually passed to the function that displays the menu. And menu index is there to remember which item is currently being pointed at. So if we go down through the setup, nothing's changed there, but I've made huge changes to the loop. The loop is now a lot more simplified. There are only two main functions here, one which deals with the interface, which is the screen and the buttons being read and the knobs being turned. And this one here deals with playing notes and beats. So the two things are actually separated and can be done independently. So everything else here is the same. If we move down to these main functions here, you can see what's been restructured is that I'm using a switch statement to determine which pedal mode we're at. And then for each case, you can see there's some functions that are used for that particular mode. For example, in synth mode, we want the play mode to actually be in play synth, so later on you'll see what I'm talking about. The ability to change the octave, change the scale, alter the detune, alter the volume, and then show the particular screen that goes with synth mode. So there are things that can all happen when you're in synth mode. These are the things that can happen when you're in latch mode, and so on and so forth. So it works the same for each mode. The new mode that I've entered is song mode, and these are the things that song mode does. There's also song edit mode and song menu mode. There's a few more things to do down here which haven't been implemented yet, including MIDI controller and a system mode. So here's the next main function, which is play a note or a beat, and you can see that if we're in synth mode we're going to be doing this function, which is play a note if a pedal's pressed. If we're in latch mode we're still going to play that one, except that it will latch. If we're in ARP mode we'll play an ARP note. If we're in playing a pattern we'll adjust the swing and then play a pattern. And if we're playing a song we'll adjust the swing and also play a pattern. In play song mode, play a pattern will be different than in play pattern mode because it will be playing a string of patterns in order based on the song. Okay. So this section here is the menu, and you can see the menu is actually expecting some items, how many items are in the list, and a title. And then it will then display the menu. If the up switch is pressed, the menu index will go down by 1, and then we'll make sure it doesn't go below 0. This one's the same sort of thing for plus, and also because I'm allowing two different switches to do the same thing, I've got B switch doing the same thing as up switch, B1 switch. So you can use the little buttons as well as the bigger foot pedals if you want to. And then once someone's chosen an item, the item chosen becomes true, and that means we can then return a value for the menu item. Otherwise we return -1, which means that nothing's chosen yet. Okay, so most of these functions here are fairly similar to before and are really just being grouped based on what they're doing up at the top. So for example, if I look at pattern play, you can see these are things that pattern play does, alter swing, etc. So I'm just going to move down to the things that are to do with song mode. Alright, so here's song mode, and one of the things that needs to be able to do is when you first go to song mode you need to set some variables. So the drums are turned off, the play mode is turned into play a song, and using the expression pedals to control the drums is made false. There's some functions here that just do things to do with what I've been talking about before. Again, I'm not going to go through them all because there's so many, but loading a song, checking the switches for song mode, so these switches are being checked for song mode to do particular things. the rest of the program, there's a lot of changes, and if I went through every particular change, we'd be here all night. So I'm not going to go through them all. If anybody's interested, they can leave a comment, and then maybe I'll explain it a bit more to them. Thanks for listening.